Okay, so I saw the Godzilla video in theaters yesterday, the King of the Monsters. And I also have my Godzilla
figure right here by NECA. NECA makes the best stuff. And I'd like to get the Godzilla NECA figure that has the blue dorsal plates. So, I saw the Godzilla video. There are a few cool things about the video, okay? One of which was Rodan. As I kind of expected, Rodan was quite towed. Now, one complaint is that I feel like I saw most of the film in the trailers and the TV spots. Just most of the exciting parts were teased in the trailers or TV spots. Don't you think? Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, when Rodan was emerging from the volcano and the jets were blasting the hell out of him with missiles, Rodan was just taking it like a bitch. That was quite towed. And I thought Rodan was going to be one of my more favorite kaiju, or titans rather, in this film. Mothra was okay as well. There were some new titans, but I was disappointed because we didn't really get any dedicated scenes to any of the new titans individually. I was looking forward to seeing a new titan just cause destruction on a city or something. You know, something we haven't seen before, and there really wasn't any of that. We just saw quick little glimpses of them on news station screens, like 2 to 3 seconds at most per each of the new titans. Then of course at the end of the film, spoilers by the way, we get to see Godzilla standing on the hilltop or whatever, and the titans kind of stand around him. So there was that, but we just got to see them walk up to him and give him a little bow. Yeah, that's about it, man. So, Iceman would have preferred to see a few more titans in this video. Weren't you guys hoping to see more titans? Let me know in the comments below. Like more of a visual interpretation of what they are and what are their abilities. You know, we didn't really get any of that.
Okay, in addition to such,
there was the end credit scene in King of the Monsters. Did you guys see that? Yeah, I waited through the credits and we saw that added scene at the end where there's some guy escorting us as the audience, like through this sewer system or whatnot, or a fishing market. And then we find, when he finally gets to his destination, behind him was the Charles Dance character, the old guy, the old evil guy. And in front of them was one of Ghidorah's remaining heads. And the Charles Dance character says, "I'll take it," or "We'll take it." So I'm guessing they like sold it to him. And yeah, that's a pretty clear hint that Mecha King Ghidorah will have an appearance in what I'm thinking is in Godzilla vs. Kong as the main nemesis. As has been noted by the director of that film, that ultimately Godzilla and Kong will team together against a greater foe. For a while I was thinking maybe it'd be Destroya, but it seems like it's going to be Mecha King Ghidorah. I think that's going to be even more of a stretch for us in this monsterverse to imagine, because it's already quite a stretch to imagine these giant monsters, but now we're going to have to imagine this giant monster that's a hybrid with human-made machinery, and somehow it functions great to the point where it stands quite a threat against the monsters. But whatevs. I mean, yeah, we're okay with, you know, stretching the imagination, you know. These films have been pretty fun, for the most part. Burning Godzilla was towed in this film. When Godzilla was just engulfed in magma and he started walking through the city, and just shit was just igniting in flames around him, man. It was Toad. Shit was just like starting on fire, like whoo, just the flames would just, you know, just turn everything to ash around him. It was so Toad. All right, but there are a few questions that I have and a few criticisms of this film, okay? So like this video if you haven't yet, because after some of these criticisms, you might not like the video as much. So just like the video now, brah. But on that note, with Burning Godzilla, as many of you know, what happened was Mothra pretty much flew at Ghidorah. I was thinking that she was just giving him her last go. I don't think she was intentionally committing suicide there. She was giving him, you know, the most of her energy to try to attack him. Of course, he just fries the hell out of her. And then she turns into dust, right? The Mothra dust. And it sprinkles on Godzilla. But Godzilla was already coming to the point to where he was going to explode, is what they were commenting on, the folks who were witnessing this whole thing. Because of course Serizawa resurrected him with a nuclear bomb. And from that point on, Godzilla was just becoming more and more nuclear. And they were like, he only has 6 minutes left before he blows. So it was unclear to me as to how much did that Mothra dust actually help. Because wasn't Godzilla going to reach his burning state regardless? It wasn't really clear to me. You know, what exactly did the Mothra dust do for him? And was Mothra really essential there? Because I thought he was going to achieve his burning state anyway. To which he was damn powerful. And of course he started walking toward Ghidorah and just pulsating these shock waves. And they just started frying the shit out of Ghidorah, like turning him to ash almost. And then it seems like Godzilla ate him, right? That was Toad. That was pretty Toad how Godzilla ate Ghidorah. I'll have to say, that was, yeah, that end battle was one of the most Toadest parts of the film, right? But here's some criticisms, okay? I think unlike the 2014 Godzilla, in this one there was lack of scale. Most of the scenes took place on that damn little airplane where they're just flying around, seeing the kaiju from up above. And I get the idea behind that. You know, the airplane enables the possibility for the production team to get some cool, high, wide shots of these titans. But the thing is, it really lacked a lot of the from human perspective on the ground scenes, which in the 2014 film, it gave a scale perspective. You know what I mean? Where you could kind of compare and see how big these kaiju actually were, or titans rather. I'd be looking up on them. And there were a few shots where things like that were included, but I think there could have been more. You know, I think there was just too much time on the damn airplane. You know, too much time on those high-tech things with just high-tech shit all around them, to where it was kind of unimmersive. But here's something that's probably more important that took away from the immersion of this film, all right? Now hear me out on this, bro. The thing about it was there was a lot of incidents in this film where just like extreme luck happened. You know what I mean? Like, one example is Godzilla would come at the very nick of time and save folks on like 3 occasions at least, where Ghidorah was about to just so damn close to eating them and boom, Godzilla gets them. You know, there were too many of those moments. And just like when Mothra shanked Rodan's ass, when Rodan was about to chomp her head off, when he had her plunged against a building, he was right on top of her, and he started reaching back, he was gonna chomp her head off, and then she just stabs him, like right before, just stabs him. You know, pulled the old switcheroo with the sheathed dagger. You know, it's what Mothra had going on right there. And those things just added up. You know, or the girl running away from Ghidorah, and Ghidorah was just blasting to hell, trying to get her with all his gravity beams, but just barely missing her every fucking time. You know what I mean? It just kept adding up, man. And it really took away from the from the realism, okay? Now what, you want to talk shit about Iceman hoping for realism in this? Well, the first one, there was some realism to it, you know? You got to kind of see how people reacted to these monsters, and it was fun trying to immerse yourself into this film, into that film, just imagining that this was really happening. But when you start showing all these like super lucky things happen to these characters just constantly, it takes away from the immersion in terms of realism and believability. So they just threw that out the fucking window. And I was disappointed. Weren't you? There were too many incidents where that shit just kept happening. It was bullshit. I didn't like that part about it. And it was a major factor in the film. The characters did some dumb shit. Like when Mothra started breaking out of her enclosure, why didn't everyone just run away? Like they just stood there and watched, and Mothra started blasting folks with her net and with her webbing. And then the chick who was trying to communicate to her with the computer, why didn't she just stay in the enclosed room with the windows and try to get her computer started there and then go out by Mothra? You know, what she did was she walked out by Mothra when Mothra was going crazy, and then she opened up her little computer and tried to start it up. You know, to me that was really illogical. And again, it took away from the believability in the film. Why would characters do such dumb shit? Wouldn't you want to stay in the protective room first while you get your computer going? And then you walk out there right at the nick of time when you're about to push the little button that talks to the moth to calm her down? But there were a lot of things like that in the film, where it was just really illogical. It's fucking bullshit. Okay. And like another thing, when Serizawa committed suicide, for one, pretty sure everyone was disappointed with that, right? Why the hell did they have to kill him off? He's like the Godzilla guy. They should have kept him alive. And they should have had someone else do that. Even though it's emotionally impactful, you know, they shouldn't have done that way, I think, because that guy's toad. But now he's dead. That's fucked up. But with that scene, there was another close call moment, you know, like when he went down there and put the timer on the bomb, which for whatever reason only had a 30-second timer. Why the hell wouldn't they, you know, have like a 10-minute timer or hours or just a digital timer? We could set it, you know, to a innumerable amount of time. You know what I mean? But it just had a 30-second timer on it, like some high-tech ass nuke has a 30-second timer, for real? And you can't go anything greater than 30 seconds? I thought that was kind of dumb, but that's not my point though. My point is, another stupid thing that happened was when he went down there to set that bomb off, and the folks in the submarine who were outside the Atlantis city, why didn't they give themselves more time to get away when they knew he was just gonna go blow the bomb up? Because the bomb blows up, and the destruction and the wave that it caused nearly hit the fucking submarine, so they barely made it out of there, you know? And it shot them up over the surface of the ocean, like, psh, and then it slammed into the water. You know, why didn't they give themselves a little bit more time if they knew he was just gonna go down there and blow the bomb up? They just said, okay, well, give us like 10 minutes and we'll get away. That was stupid. And in addition to that, after the submarine made that wild maneuver and slammed into the ground, the camera goes into it and sees everyone, and for the most part, everyone's just fine. Like, no one's tipped over, no one's on their ass, no one busted their skull open, you know, everything was just fine. Just a lot of inconsistencies with the logic, you know what I mean? And on top of that, what was really weird is Rodan's size. Am I the only one who noticed this? Where he was like the size of Ghidorah almost when him and Ghidorah fought. But then when Rodan went by Godzilla and Mothra, Rodan was like the size of Mothra, just a little bigger. It seems like Rodan's size fluctuated in the film in order to fit, you know, a good comparison with Godzilla, and then they'd size him up when he was by Rodan or by Ghidorah, but maybe I'm off on that. I just thought that was kind of weird. Did any of you guys notice that? How Rodan's size seemed to change? One of my biggest complaints regarding this film is how it didn't really give us any perspective on how the rest of the world was doing so much. I was really looking forward to seeing this film, and I wanted to see some perspective on how is the world reacting? How are civilians reacting? How are normal people reacting to this? The fact that, the Titans came about and caused a bunch of destruction in San Francisco and other places. But there just wasn't much of that. The film was very isolated with just the main characters and their little special force team and Monarch, and then just about the Titans, You didn't really get to see any glimpses from the rest of the world. I was really curious, how are folks handling this? Are they, have the trade routes been screwed up? And have economies collapsed regarding these Titans and their emergence? And are people living in big stadiums, even though there was that little glimpse of the stadium with a bunch of, or was that from 2014? I don't remember, but there just wasn't enough perspective from outside the main characters and the monsters, So a few minutes worth of that, I think, would have been really impactful. It would have really set the stage for how the world is reacting to these Titans. But let me know what you guys think about that, about Iceman's thoughts on this film thus far. And did you enjoy it? And what are your thoughts on this film? Like the damn video and comment below your thoughts on the matter. Peace be with you.